All right. Let me check out. Oh yeah, we're live. All right. So hello there. Welcome to the 0.4.3 release podcast. I'm DonGororo, and well, this is our podcast. So yeah, we've released a new version. Oh, hello, Oliver.
Hello. What's
Hey,
You're just in time.
We just got
Oh.
the stream fixed.
Hey guys. Oh god.
Yep.
The
There we
stream.
go.
Yeah,
What did you do?
I mean, like the stream key had changed, so even after I copied that, like with the previous key, it streamed with the name 0.4.2. But I copied the new key and it still didn't work, so I had to go to the YouTube Creator Studio and press Start Stream here for some reason.
And now it's working. So, well, let's introduce yourselves. I'm DonGororo. I'm an illustrator and a concept artist. Also the guy who takes care of the progress updates, and also the outreach team lead. Gato is muted, so he can't introduce himself. Hhyyrylainen.
I'm the programming team lead, and I'm now also like project management team only member.
Naggorath.
wait, what?
Can you introduce yourself?
Me? Yeah, sure. I'm Naggorath. I usually do the trailers and come up with some suggestions from time to time. Pretty much.
Narotiza.
Hello, I'm the graphics team co-lead, I think. I do graphics, sometimes music as well, as you've seen by the last two posts on my channel if you follow that. But I
And a
haven't
lot
really
of
done
memes,
much lately.
usually. Okay, Oliver.
Hello. I'm Oliver or Oliveriver. I mostly do music stuff, although I do project management, graphics, outreach stuff, all the stuff, whether I like it or not sometimes. Hello, that's me.
Uniow.
Hello, I'm also an art team lead, and I sometimes do concept art and ideas for the technical side of graphics.
And
Yeah.
lastly, Zuris.
Hey, I'm one of the programmers. I am working on the launch. I'm currently working on the launcher, trying to basically make that better and easier to maintain.
The next launcher release is going to have one thing you work on.
Yeah, we're working on adding. I am working on adding adding download resumption on failures and element stuff.
Right. So
If you haven't seen it already, I also got progress bars into the launcher.
all right.
Yeah, that's going to be in the next launcher version. So
Well, that's nice. So, well, let's see the patch notes. So, firstly, we have a new UI. You've probably seen it already. If anyone can post a screenshot or something here. And yeah, it's a new UI based on Narotiza's concept. It needs some tweaks and it's not complete yet because yeah, there it is. Because the patch map and editor use the old one, but well, we'll eventually get there. We also have the Pilus, an organelle with which you can stab other cells, and many people have been asking for it, so finally it's here. We've also made the editor tooltips dynamic, so they show the process efficiency in the patch you're currently living in. So this means that if you change your patch, the tooltip will also change. This is very important for photosynthetic organelles, since light makes them more efficient. It only affects photosynthetic organelles, in fact, right now, but in the future it will also affect other things as other compounds change in the patches. We've also added an ATP balance bar to the editor. This shows if your cell produces more ATP than it consumes, so it's very handy for making viable cells, and you don't die, which is nice. AI species now spread to other patches, so yeah, now their species will travel with you as well and will colonize patches on their own. More patch details shown on the patch map. Now the patch map shows a comparison between two patches. Let me see if I have it here. Nope. All right. Well, yeah, it shows you how compounds and conditions vary between patches with arrows. So you know if you are better in one patch or in other. Also, we fixed a bug in the editor where the undo button didn't restore removed cytoplasm. We also added an appearance tab, which, well, it's a new tab in the editor, in which you can change your cell membrane and also its color. It's only cosmetic right now, but in the future we plan that cell walls can have different effects, like giving armor or resistance to certain agents. We have to sort that out. Also, we have a pause feature now. Now you can pause the game, basically. Also, we have a balancing feature, which consists on improving the population increasing when escaping from engulfment. The organelle definitions have been moved to a JSON file for easier editing and modding. Another bug fix is that right-clicking won't freeze the game. And finally, we fixed that the ATP cost of movement was sometimes incorrectly calculated. Now it should be calculated correctly. So yeah, those are the release notes. We have a lot of features. As you can see, the ATP balance bars aren't supposed to look like they look now. They're supposed to look like this concept, and they would show how different processes produce or consume ATP, and you could hide those processes to compare and yeah, have a better sense of how your cell works.
That didn't make it into this release because I coded the whole ATP bar feature yesterday and I didn't have time to add anything fancy to it.
Nah, but you did a great work.
Mhm.
It's a very nice feature to have.
Indeed.
Now, so these are the good news. We have a lot of features, a new release, woohoo, and it's time for Christmas. And we also have bad
Yay.
news. So,
Oh,
yeah, TJ Whale and Untrusted Life left the team. TJ Whale was our lead game designer, and Untrusted Life was also an important programmer. They left because, well, due to personal stuff, to focus on their own projects. And well, we have to move forward. So yep, we need a new game designer and also programmers. We also need programmers actually. but
We always need programmers. That's not
we
really
always need.
changed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But we need
So
someone to like read the feedback on the game, as well as discuss with the team about new features and design them, as well as balance, because we didn't have anyone doing the balancing for the new release, so it might be a bit unbalanced.
mhm.
On that note, reminder to everyone watching, this is an open source project and the team is made up of entirely volunteers. So any of you could join if you want to. Please email us with an application. There are instructions on our website. If you look at the Get Involved page. If you're a programmer, provide samples of past work or examples of previous games you've made. Or if you don't have those available publicly, make a pull request in our Git repository and show off your skills that way. If you want to apply as a game designer, then show off previous games you may have experience with, or something in a similar vein. If you don't have that exactly, we'll judge it on a case-by-case basis.
I've gone and put the link to the Get Involved page in the chat.
Yep, I did. Yep, so that Untrusted Wit and also TJ well. But well,
Did anyone
this is
see
what-
that link? I'm not seeing. I have top chat open and I didn't see.
I put it probably got filtered out as spam then.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I don't
I'll-
think you're listed as a
I'll
moderator.
post it. I
Alright.
posted. I'm logged in as Revolutionary Games, so I should be able to do it.
Yeah, now it appears apparently.
Yeah.
Well, so should we start answering questions?
Do if you want to go through the thread, unless anyone
Maybe
else
we
has
should
anything.
discuss about the possibility of making a non-profit to finally collect
Mm.
money.
Yeah,
So
true.
I think I know most about the topic. So basically, we sent an email to the Software Conservancy who manage collecting money for open source project, but unfortunately they are so busy that they haven't replied in like a month. So that's looking pretty unlikely. So if we want a non-profit, we might have to found our own, which is not especially easy. So I was thinking that I would myself, being like one of the core members, start a Patreon page for collecting money that would be used to pay the fees for founding a non-profit, as well as any server costs. And if we get a lot of money, I could quit my part-time job to work more on Drive, so we could
Yeah,
finally speed up.
I'm not entirely sure whether we'll get that much money, particularly enough to quit any kind of real job.
Yeah,
But,
yeah,
nice,
you know,
though.
a small amount will certainly be helpful.
Mhm.
yeah. But I think it's about time to start. And well, I haven't really looked into it that much, but maybe during the Christmas break, I'll have time to like read through Patreon's terms of service and figure out how to set it up, and then we can publicize it and see how much money we can get. And finally, people won't be able to complain that we don't collect any money, so they could finally put their money where their mouth is and support the project financially.
Yep, that would be very nice.
Can we just ask, what does everyone in the chat think of all that as a potential thing that might happen?
Yep.
Bearing in mind the link I am about to post there, where we collated some arguments for and against things involving money in Thrive. I suggest everyone read that through. I don't think it's particularly up to date, as we may have changed opinion on some things, but I think it collates a lot of the thoughts that we've had across the years on it. You think about it and then tell us what you think, either now or whenever. I'm sure most people would obviously be in favour of collecting money for this and becoming more of a proper studio, but to the problems. I guess that's our job to work out how we get through those.
I mean, if we have the chance, then we should look into it.
I think it's worth a look into, but yeah, it's whether it will actually work correctly and none of the pitfalls we're going to run into is the question.
I think that link I just posted is more up to date. It has the discussion about forming the non-profit linked as well, so it has some new extra info in it.
Well, so anything else you'd like to discuss before moving to questions?
I just booted up Hive to Hive 0.4.3 to look at it and almost got deafened by the music. Might be a good idea to turn that down.
Seems to be a common complaint, and I'm still surprised no one's ever done anything about it. Maybe we should make that an actual issue to
It's a surprise
normalize
feature.
to some sort of funny level.
God damn it, Naggorath.
Yeah.
It's more impressive when the music is loud. It hits you in the face
It's
like
here to make
this
the
is
Yeah,
experience
tribe.
the new UI does look pretty good.
Yep. It still needs some tweaks, like some bars are the wrong color, and some panels look need a bit of tweaking. But yeah, it's
And obviously the entirety of the editor is still, well, apart from the tooltips, it's still the old stuff, so it's a bit inconsistent at the moment.
yeah. But we'll get to it. All right. So if we're not discussing anything else, I guess it's time to move to questions from the thread.
Yeah. Let me just maybe I should close the thread now. And put
I
it
think
on
I'm gonna read it from
screen.
the live stream window. It has a bit of lag, but yeah.
Can someone post the link to questions in the text chat?
Yeah, but those are answered after these ones, since the thread has priority. Okay, thanks for the link.
I think we have a pretty good number of people watching, despite the earlier technical issues. So
Yep.
pretty good. So the first question.
Yeah. What will be the next release feature? Well, we have every time after a release, we have a thread under the forums where we discuss what are we going to work on for the next release. So we gotta see that first. In my opinion, we should focus on finishing features that we couldn't make for the past releases. And once that's done, then we can focus on new features. Don't know what everyone else thinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would work.
Yeah, because as I said,
I would
the
love
UI. Oh, yeah, continue.
Yeah, I would love to work more on the. Well, I mean, I would love to focus more on the patches. Honestly, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, they're pretty awesome, but if we could make them like procedurally generated or something, that would be amazing.
Of course.
But I don't know.
Yeah. That's something I've been waiting for since we started working on the patch map.
Yeah.
Also should do something with the materials finally. So I could apply some kind of normal map to rocks, for example.
Oh,
That's another issue.
The normal map is the one that takes care of shadows.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would be
that's
that would be cool. So yeah, yeah, I think we should.
Somebody
first-
suggest multicellular.
Yeah, sure. That's a nice thing to work on if we have time and resources.
Let's just skip straight to space. Let's make that as the next stage.
Oh god.
Cells in space.
So the game doesn't matter. That's all we can. Let's
Yeah,
just do that.
who needs organs in space? Cells can live there, of course.
I think definitely we should change the name to cells in space. That would be amazing.
But
Yeah.
by the way, if you hear me breathing down the mic, sorry.
Yeah, well, put it a bit away from your face in that case.
I do.
Or
Okay.
mute yourself on. If
Um, what else? Oh yes, yeah. The next question. I was gonna say something silly, but enough silliness for now.
I could
we'll all come later.
Yeah, silliness is for later. We have still like
Yep.
40 minutes to get before we can start silliness. But for the next release,
Someone
like
start a counter.
yeah, I'm looking at how long the stream's been live. When it's over 1 hour, we can start the silliness. But
Perfect then.
we probably will have less resources to work now than we did before because, as we said, we don't have a game designer currently, and well, all the other programmers have been pretty inactive. Like they've done a few features, but I've been doing bulk of the work, and there are still all the GUI like issues from using Chromium as the library, and of course the rendering engine, which doesn't really work on Intel. Those are some pretty huge issues, and if I decide to try to solve those, like all of my time for next release is probably going to be locked up in that. So if no one else works on any gameplay features, we might get like a technical patch release. So
Well, we don't have enough resources for now.
so join the
See if
team.
someone applies. Yeah, join the team, please.
Tell other
Please.
people you know to join the team and
We need
make
more
YouTube
members.
videos encouraging people to join the team. And if you happen to be Narotiza, who has like millions of subscribers because of worms, then make a video telling people to join the team. This is one of my ideas that I want to talk about in a few days' time. But
Oh.
yeah.
Okay, nice.
I've been thinking about like doing some sort of concept animation thingy for Thrive and posting it there.
Oh yeah. You post stuff from Thrive on your channel. That would be nice. So next question.
I mean, if my like viewers even care, because like right now they're all drawn to that one terrible YTP I made of Bo Wurtz's History of the World for some reason. So
Try to mix those concepts, Thrive and that poop, and see if it works.
YouTube poop of Thrive.
Oh yes.
Oh, wait, you already did that several times.
Oh yeah, Thrive MIDI. What a horror.
Right,
And
we're
then
getting
that's
off topic here. Let's go back to the thread.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay. Will there ever be a Thrive game, the board game? No.
Already
how-
exists. There's a board game called Thrive that we had a problem with a name conflict at one point, but it's fine. We think we'll occupy different spaces. So if you search Thrive board games, something else will turn up that's nothing to do with us.
By
Oh,
the way, if you guys aren't aware, the whole view just disappeared on the stream.
oh yes.
Yeah,
yes.
someone mentioned me on Discord, so
Okay.
it was about talking about graphics engine switch, which would be a solution for the Intel problem, which I've been thinking about. Like it seems like all of the graphics engines are either very low level or too high level to actually put in Thrive. So it would be again, a lot of work. But currently, it's like the only solution I can see to a ton of people not being able to play the game. Like we have 200 duplicate reports from people with Intel graphics, the game crashing instantly.
Okay. How will the lamellipods work? Okay. For those who don't know, lamellipods are cilia that some cells have in their underside, and they use it as legs, basically, to walk on detritus and such.
Really?
Yep. Let's see if I can find a picture of it. So my idea for lamellipods in Thrive is that, well, we already have rocks, so you could attach to a rock and walk over it, walk around it, and also over it, like using WASD, WASD.
It will look very cool in 3D.
I'm
Yeah,
thinking
that would be
of
pretty amazing.
yeah, I'm thinking of a 2D perspective actually.
It would look pretty cool in 2D as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure about using making the game into 3D. We had this discussion about
Having enough trouble with 2D anyway. Why would we try and do 3D instead?
Yeah, we have this discussion about making the microbial stage in 3D, and I don't think if it's worth it.
Definitely not.
Don, I sent
Like
you
right
something
now or anytime soon.
Right now.
I think it's the most ideal, in my opinion, because it introduces the player to a 3D environment and
Still, we have a lot of ideas and mechanics that work on a 2D environment. So I don't know how they will translate to a 3D environment. Like, for example, using the Pilus.
yeah, but like any issues that happen with Pilus combat would also appear in any 3D melee combat. So like
Yeah, that's true.
swimming around as a fish in multicellular might have the same sort of problems trying to eat something else.
Yeah, that's fair. But still, I would.
It's definitely a topic for much later.
Yeah, definitely. Technical. I'm not finding the image I'm looking for. I mean, there's this cool protozoa that has legs, well, lamellipods on its belly, and it looks very cool, but I can't find it. I think Untrusted Life knew about it. Philopodia, maybe? Yeah. Well, if I find it, I'll post it.
Yeah, Lamellipodium seem to be a part of Philopodia, but looking like by what I'm seeing. But I'm just going off Google Images, so.
All right, next question then. And at last, what will be the first few gens of multicellular work? I don't understand this question.
I think he's asking.
As in generations.
Yeah, I think he's asking, basically asking what we'll be doing first and stuff like that, and basically how it'll go out or something. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, so the transition to multicellular, I think.
Yeah,
I think they're working more. They're asking more about when are we gonna work on multicellular. Well, first off, we don't know. As we said, we lack resources now. But well, the first generation is on multicellular. So we have this idea of making a smooth transition between stages. So the very first quote-unquote multicellular organisms would be just two cells that joined, and from that a colony would form, and that from that colony cells would specialize until a multicellular organism emerges. And it would be a smooth process from a cell colony to a very early multicellular organism to something more complex, like something like a sponge or a jellyfish.
Yeah.
Okay. We should move to the next one then. Hyyrylainen, can you
Do
scroll?
we answer the when we are gonna have procedurally generated planets? Well, I guess I can answer that. DJ Whale
I
was
didn't read that.
working on that the generator, and as he left, no one has picked up that work. So, well, it will be some time until we have procedurally generated planets. But having procedurally generated patch maps is on the roadmap. It's already an issue on GitHub. So
We need more programmers. That's
This should be the catchphrase of this stream. We need more programmers.
that's the answer
Okay,
to
that's the
everything.
title decided.
Cool then.
Globe 0.4.3 release live stream. We need more programmers.
Help. We are doomed.
Without programs. About the you mentioned the planet generator. Yeah, TJ Will has been working on it, and we have this concept for how it would look like. Well, this is a concept for the star generator. So yeah, TJ Will has been working on a generator where you can change the parameters of your star and planet and have a custom environment. All right.
I'm seeing that add another star button, and I'm imagining just every new player just spamming it and just having a total swarm of stars in their system.
Do you mean galaxy? That's a way for making your galaxy.
Instead of a binary sunset, it's a base 12 sunset.
If you
Okay.
be base 64.
64-bit planetary system. Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Next question. When you get to the space age and you find a new solar system that has some sort of a new species, or when you put a colony on it, what sort of solar system memory in the game itself? This is a bit hard to read. No offense.
I'm gonna see if I can break that question down a bit.
Yeah, please do. Sentient species.
I think the question is about like how much stuff persists per like star system, because like if we have a galaxy-sized 100 million stars, like we cannot have anything stored per solar system. So I think instead we'll have like much smaller galaxies so that we can actually store some information. But I don't think computers will be powerful enough to like run the auto evo system on 1,000 planets at once. So it's probably going to be a bit limited.
I wonder what the performance implications would be if when we go to, basically we have the star only, and when we go near that star, it generates this system and just fast tracks the auto evolution process. I'm wondering what the performance implications of that would be.
It's probably
Like
pretty
just-
terrible, but many people would like to see some creatures from like other saves, like in Spore. So I think the space stage is the perfect chance for that. So we could have like 10,000 different already generated planets with species on them. So like we have some tool that runs auto evo continuously on new planets and then stores the results. So then when players find new stars, they could have planets with generated species on them.
Yeah. What if that were like Minecraft? Well, where it's generated from a seed? How would it
With
be?
Minecraft, the world is
fun?
generated on the fly as you get to it, so I don't really think that would work here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Someone said you would. Sorry.
Well, unless like we have some, like if it takes like 10 hours to get to the space stage, we can use all that time to generate planets in the
Yeah.
background. But
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah,
probably
And
not.
just
Yeah,
try
so-
to generate what we can in the background whilst the CPU isn't spending much time on the player stuff.
Yeah, I guess
Someone
one.
said. Oh,
Yeah, I guess once when the player is doing stuff other than visiting new planets, those can be generated. And also, life is supposed to be rare, so not every system should be inhabited. So that's
Oh my god,
no.
Carolina. You will need a supercomputer to run the space stage of Thrive.
By the time it's done, everyone will have supercomputers.
Yeah, at this
Everyone will have an
rate,
entire planetary system to calculate the
At-
space stage anyway.
at this rate, that's probably going to be quite true.
Yeah,
We'll have quantum
the
computers.
singularity is just around the corner. Don't worry.
One of the universe's Thrive will be finished.
Okay, so moving to the next question then. Will there be galaxies in the game? And if galaxies are added to the game, how would custom galaxy feature work? We've already talked about that with the star generator. You spam the star button. No. So making custom galaxies. I think that one galaxy is enough for this game. I mean, a galaxy is huge, has a lot of stars, a lot of systems. It has more than enough content for a lot of gameplays.
Yeah, that would
So
be
I
quite a
don't
feat.
think adding new galaxies is something that will give something new to the game.
But selecting like the shape of the starting galaxy is probably going to be an option.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Tristan Life just showed up in the text chat.
Oh, hi, Rusted.
Huh.
Well, I was more or less answering the second question. Will there be
Hello,
a
Tristan
local
Life.
group like Milky Way galaxy with a small and large Magellanic clouds? Yeah, well, I answered that already. I think one galaxy is enough. But yeah, making it custom might be a good idea. So, next question. How do you plan simulating all the different species and their evolution in all the different biomes? So when you get there, all the organisms will be already created and rendered.
The plan is that the auto evo system, which is now actually in the game, it just runs in the background and it does the simulation. So in the just released version, you can actually, if you wait around a bit, like the species that split off from you will spread around and continue evolving. So
Yeah, it wouldn't be much different than the patch map, would it?
yeah, I think it's pretty similar. So like that's
Yeah.
already kind of designed. Auto evo will do its thing even in the later game.
Okay. How long until the thermoplast and bioluminescent backwall are put in the game?
unknown. I think it took 2 or 3 years after like the pilot was decided that we are going to add it for it to be added. So, and that was me basically having seen enough people complaining at why doesn't it get added, that I was like, okay, I'm going to give the people what they want and work on the pilot. So
what you're basically saying is, if enough people complain about it, then you'll add it in, no matter how ridiculous it is.
Okay, so that's how you decide features in the future. I see.
You've just given them a very powerful weapon, hhyyrylainen.
well, yeah, maybe that boosts our SEO score, so more people will find the game.
Yeah. We need more programmers.
Oh god.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And ring the
Like,
bell.
comment, subscribe, and
bell.
program the game for us.
It's the do-it-yourself game.
I laugh weirdly.
Okay, there's also another question. Also, how long until organelle updates are added?
Upgrades. Upgrades?
Upgrades, yeah, like what we discussed of making different types of pilus, where like a stabby pilus or a harpoon-like pilus, you know?
Yeah, we'll.
I can make asset for that without any problem, but I don't know if it could be added this quick.
I think we need actually like a proper design for the upgrade system. We've seen quite a few like ideas for it, but like we haven't had a game designer sit down and think about all the things related to it and write it down so that we could then implement those needed features for the upgrade. So if you know a game designer, send them our way.
We need game designers.
We're not hammering this point home enough. We need to say it again. We need programmers, we need game designers, we need everyone. Help.
We need developers basically.
Okay, I mean here. There was this concept. Yeah, this is a concept we have for organelle upgrades, which is pretty old, from 2015. But well, something we have at least. Okay.
And did a little thing in that one editor concept I made.
Oh yeah, where you right-click an organelle and it had an option to upgrade, right?
Yeah. Let me just messily screenshot it. There's a lot going on.
Oh yeah, that. Yeah, that concept is nice, messy but nice.
That is pretty cool.
Okay. Well, next question then. Okay. Do you plan on incorporating any other proteins or organelles, with exception of lysosomes and melanosomes? Okay. We discussed about those two before this release. Or is the current roster of organelles and proteins a good representation of what it will basically look like? Well, I said before that we should work on features we have halfly done first. But yeah, I think there's a lot of room for new organelles and proteins and even agents especially.
Yeah, there's definitely some new stuff that could be added, but we should consider if they are only like small variants of existing things, so they might then be better as upgrades instead of new organelles. But like if we figure out some new gameplay stuff that needs new organelles, we can add them. But this time I don't think we have many plans to add other organelles than the ones that are already shown in the editor, but aren't implemented yet?
I mean, we have a list for a very long list, in fact, of planned organelles. So yeah. Okay. Next question: how will cilia function? Will they be single placeable hexes, or will they act sort of like a cell wall mutation? I think they can work both ways because, well, they work both ways in nature. About their function, I'm not sure how would they work differently from flagella. Maybe given better, faster turning. To know.
Tweaking the turn rate is something that DJ Well talked about, but like it's still constant for all cells, but it would be changed that cell size and whether you have cilia or not would affect how fast you turn.
Hmm. That's interesting. Okay, many cells in real life filter feed by using their cilia to create a small currents. It's always. Do you think such a thing would be possible in Thrive? Yeah, that's something I would like to see.
If
As I
you
said,
have physics, yeah.
To have physics.
What?
Did you say to have physics, or I didn't understand? Yeah, something like a Stentor or Portifella. Yeah, that's something I would like to see. But yeah, we have to think how placing cilia that way would work. And yeah, there's a lot of things to sort out before doing it. Speaking of currents, what would be a reasonable estimate for them to be implemented? Yeah, currently currents only move marine snow or floating organelles and also affect
Currently.
compound clouds. But they don't affect cells because we don't have a way to display them.
Yeah, once we have a way to visualize the currents, we can enable them for cells as well. And I think we'll need to add some dynamic current changing because I think they are pretty constant currently. But once the graphics side is done, then it will be pretty easy. But we'll want like a specialized graphics programmer who knows how to do that. Because I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, we already have a concept for it. This one, in fact, for how currents would look like.
Yeah, I'm not good enough at graphics to program that, so
Yeah.
at least not yet. Probably if we go with a low-level graphics engine, I'll just have to learn everything there is about graphics
We need
programming.
graphic
So
programmers.
Yeah, we need graphics programmers. Okay. Okay, so that's all for this post. Okay. So next one. Since there's only one engulfing mechanism in the current stage, how could other engulfing mechanism in the stage work out? Will it work like a tentacle, where the body part of the cell stretches to its victims and absorbs them? Oh yeah, that's basically pseudopods. Yeah, we have plans for adding amoeboid like cells, or more accurately cell membranes that allow you to do that. And also the idea of making stentor-like organisms that use currents to swallow food. I suppose they would be activated as their own abilities, like engulfing is activated now, pressing G. Well, they will have their own hotkey. Also, will peroxisome be a thing? And if yes, how it will function in the game? So if I'm not mistaken, peroxisomes neutralize oxygen and especially the byproducts of oxygen that are toxic for cells. I suppose that they would let you live in oxygen-rich environments. So that's something we've talked about also, making compounds toxic. But we haven't got to that yet.
There's been
That's something I want to see too.
yeah, there's been plans about the Great Oxygenation event, which would like kill off some species. Maybe that would be like a protection. You either have to have some oxygen using organelle or that some organelle that protects you.
Yeah, it could work also with agents. Like you can produce agents that protect you against some compounds or other agents from other cells. Oof. I want to work on well, I can work on it, but I would like to see how the agent system would look like. I wish I could program. Could rich salty environments where halophilic bacteria exist be a thing? We talk about salty oceans as having as special patches. So yeah, that could be a thing. I don't know how halophilic bacteria work in those environments.
This is
Like if salt helps their metabolism or something.
This is one of those features that if it exists on Earth, it can be added to Thrive, but it isn't a high priority.
Yeah.
We should have like an automated response for that or something like that. A bot that says that phrase.
Okay. How will you find new people for the project? Will it work? All right. So I have plans for posting Thrive on a bunch of subreddits. Now that we have a new release, is the best time to do so. Also, contacting some platforms that talk about indie games and make posts about them. There are a couple of them out there, so yeah, I'll get to that. And yeah, basically making outreach work. That's the best way of making people join. And also by saying we need more programmers.
And via word of mouth of all the existing fans, that's been quite a big method of getting new people.
Yep.
So if you keep telling people about the game, telling people about all its features, its potential, all the things you like about it, then yeah, that's good for us. That we'll be very grateful for that.
Mm-hmm. All right. In the next releases, will there be any huge and awesome feature to be implemented? As I said, we have to decide that first. Oh, and will there be any kind of ceremony for each time someone leaves other than pressing F? That would be something pretty, something beautiful to do, yeah. Like playing some sad music.
The Thrive extinction
Firework,
theme
perhaps,
every time they leave.
in a way.
Alexa, this is so sad. Play Thrive extinction theme.
He crashed.
Disturbance, this is so sad. Play Alexa.
All right.
We have a Fallen Soldiers theme, courtesy of me.
Yep. Hey, you can play that right
yeah.
now. We have the bot.
Yeah, we do. Someone make it play that. I don't know how to.
Yeah, one moment. I don't think it's on. Ah, yeah, it's on. All right. And I have some gloomy music for while reading this because yeah, why not?
Ooh. Okay. How can
Okay,
we answer questions
so-
over this now?
I think I
let's
have
stay-
the bot volume like adjusted a lot.
Okay, then adjust it. Okay, what stage are you looking forward to the most? I think this is a good question for the whole team. Should we answer it before? I mean, after this?
I think we can go through everyone right now and sort of go through all the people here and ask which stage they're looking forward to.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
That will work quite well.
Then we'll go from top to bottom then. The one I'm looking forward the most. Right now, multicellular, because it's nearer than any other stage, and I don't want to hype myself too much. So yeah, it's a multicellular.
I'm most excited about the space stage, but it's a long way off.
I don't think it was a good idea to play this while answering this question.
Yeah, I regret this now.
I'm depressed now.
Can we stop it? I know it's nice that my music has an
No.
effect on people, but I would
Spark.
prefer it not to
There
do
we
it right now.
All right.
I'll find the happy music instead.
Yeah.
Give me a minute.
Play the opposite of extinction.
A live
Ascension?
theme?
Nah, extension.
Um,
But we don't have a theme for that, do we?
no, I was always planning to kind of leave that till the end.
Yeah, it's a long way until
Uh,
that. Okay,
Where is some happy
Naggorath.
music?
Yeah, Naggorath, what's your favorite stage? Sorry, what's the
Ooh,
one you're
well,
looking for?
multicellular, but I think maybe early multicellular the most, like when you're still in the water. I think that's very interesting to see, especially because it's so weird in real life. I mean, it was back in the days, so that's gonna be very cool, I think.
All right.
I'd say probably aware because it's at that point where you get to more fully, like you're probably on a much larger scale, so you can play, not play, you can explore your planet much better instead of just being stuck as a tiny organism that can barely move in the water. But you can just explore it, like see like what moons you have or what your terrain looks like and stuff like that. And I think that'd be cool.
Okay. I resume maybe. Oh, come on. Thanks, Naro. But it's paused, so you should use resume, I think.
Alright.
Cool. We'll be much happier
There
with
we
this
go.
one. We'll be ready to fight people in space.
Yeah.
Yeah,
God.
get hyped up.
Unless
Oh.
we start getting Worm 5 flashbacks.
I always.
I would like to point out this has become the most popular Thrive theme on my channel purely because of that.
Yeah. Thanks to that video.
To some worms.
And
And all the
Gato
comments are
said
about
that-
worms as well.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Oh my god,
Gato
I
said
can't
that.
really hear much.
Alright. Well, again, Gato said that their favorite stage is Awakening. Okay. So, Oliver, what's the one you're looking for?
What just happened?
What just happened?
You know?
Honestly, I'm most looking forward to just having like the fully featured microbe stage. Really, I think there's
Oh
a
my
lot of
God.
potential for that to be a very fun, very fully featured game in and of itself. And you know, it's the one we have the best concept of now, and I want to see all of those concepts formalized somehow in the game. So yeah, that's the stage I want to see the most.
That's cool.
Alright. Uniow? Oh, who left? Naggorath. Maybe have problems.
I am the most excited about the creature stage because I am just so excited to see like the graphics that we'll have and all these procedural life forms and terrain. It just I would really love if that happened.
Definitely.
Okay, and Zuris?
Honestly, I am mainly excited about the space stage, but what I'm definitely looking forward to is Ascension. That is good. If that gets put in, that is going to be so much fun. just to just screw with the to just screw around with the universe. and see how the game reacts.
Certainly. Imagine a chaotic, evil civilization ascending and just
do
whatever
messing
they want
around with the
the universe.
whole universe.
Yeah. Alright. So now, are there any new parts being added in the future? Okay, we answered that already. How close to multicellular are we? We need more programmers. Favorite meme for the Thrive meme contest?
Oh, yeah, we never actually posted the winners anywhere
Yeah.
on the forums. I mean, we could show them all off now. Post
Yeah,
them in
show
the
them.
podcast chat. There you go. Fan engagement, everybody. You post memes.
Let me look for the Thrive meme contest. There was this one I liked. There. Thrive meme contest.
I've got it. I'm going to post all the winners.
Oh, okay.
Hyyrylainen might have to zoom in on some of these to show people what the.
Yeah, that one, the one with Rick. That's my favorite. You know that the one with the Rick one has a lot of, Simpson shit posting. Like it has the same energy like those kind of memes. And yeah, the last one is mine.
I'm just looking at the third one.
Oh
There we
yeah.
go,
That one as well.
Can instantly derail for a bus and induce rage by mentioning hydrothermal vents.
Yeah. Those damn vents.
Gaze upon the inventiveness and creativity of our community, everyone.
Yep.
About
then-
my username.
I just
Okay,
thought
I take back the inventiveness and creativity point.
Yeah.
Oliveriver.
I thought of that meme like when I was walking my dog, and I thought, oh, this might be a good idea. Okay, I'm gonna do it, and I did it just like at the last hour, and I don't know how I won with that, but thanks, I guess.
It's nice to know you think of me when you're walking your dog.
Take
You
it
want
as a
to
compliment-
steal that
take it as a
one?
compliment. Take it as a compliment or as whatever you want, Oliver.
Hey Don, do you mind if I steal that one?
Yeah, sure. Use it however you want.
Because
there
I'm
we
definitely
go.
sending that to my friend.
I think we've demonstrated our answer to the question about the favourite meme for the meme contest. Let's.
Yeah, I guess. Enough derailment. I lost the trail. Yeah, I'm in the Thrive meme contest. Oh my god. Oh, Viva la Disco, nice.
Thought this one was happy as well.
Yeah. Alright, so now that's answer. How long until another meme contest is held? Ooh.
No idea.
All right.
It was mostly just a one-time thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. If enough people want it again, then they can complain enough, and then we'll do the same thing as hhyyrylainen, adding the pilus and do it again.
Don't remind them that they had that weapon, Oliver.
And we'll get more programmers.
It's the only way we
who-
can stop him putting another graphics engine in. He has to be convinced to do other things. I'm not being serious. You can put a new one in if you want.
Maybe I
Okay.
can write the worst graphics engine ever and batter him until he puts that in.
And also
It's an
press
8-bit
F-
Thrive.
And also press F for TJ Well. Yeah, F.
F.
Right. Next one. When will the microstage be in 3D? 3D messes with a top-down perspective. Oh, okay, now we're talking.
One day.
One day. When we have enough programmers.
On-
But now we need more.
Only the membrane is flat. Everything else is 3D already, I think.
Yeah, that's also true. Will we have another writing contest? These people like contests.
Oh yeah, the writing contest. These are all contests that were held on the community forum, by the way. For anyone not familiar with the platform, go there to participate in the Thrive community and be an active member and all the things. The writing contests are just the things I held because I like writing and I thought it'd be fun to see what people came up with. I haven't done one in a while, mostly because I can't think of what to do next, and I'm not sure they'd have the same engagement, probably diminishing returns with each new one. But again, if people are interested, particularly, yeah, and you can request more, and I may potentially do more. We will see.
Okay.
I don't think we can really post the winners on the podcast in the same manner, as it may
Yeah.
take a while to read them.
Post the link and let them read themselves.
Do.
Okay, and when are we going to have procedural patches? Well, that's another thing we want to work on.
When someone writes it, I've actually made it super easy. There's a single like script function that is responsible for making the patches, so it should be very easy for a new programmer to write procedural patch generation. So
Well, that's nice to hear. And also, Merry Thrivemas to you, Deep6, and everyone listening to this podcast. Will there be a limit on the number of individual organisms in a certain area?
definitely, because otherwise your computer will melt. Even in the current version, I've added basically some magical force that if there are more than 10 species per batch, all of them will lose 500 population is auto cycle, like Thanos comes and snaps them away in order
God.
to reduce lag.
Oh God.
Abducted
would
by
be funny.
aliens.
Abducted by purple. No, I'm not gonna say it.
So I would like to point out someone's put in the chat, what about a programming contest?
Oh,
Now
that
that's
will
clever.
kill two birds with one
Yeah, we could do that.
stone.
If you
The winner
program the
gets-
entire game, you will obviously win.
The winner gets the dough.
We've done it. We've solved Thrive.
Maybe we called for programming contests. Maybe we called like pick some unfinished unstarted features of the game and pose them as contests to the community to see
I feel like the problem
can-
with that is it requires all
Why not?
the
why not?
ramp up to get involved in the actual code base, of which there's a lot of
Probably.
difficulty. As we
I
discovered.
don't know.
I have thought of an idea though. We can make a Patreon for Thrive, and then offer the money from the Patreon as the prize for winning the programming contests.
No God.
Then we could get someone to complete the game for us for all that, like $30 or however much it will get.
There is
Thanos cell.
There is actually a service, I think it's called something like Bounty Source, where open source projects can post their issues there, and then people can pledge money for whoever is going to solve the issue. So we could like post all our issues there, and people could then say, I'll give you $15 if you add Cilia to the game or something like that, and then whoever does it first gets rewarded the money.
That's a great
Yeah.
idea.
I've actually heard of that.
I see
service
no
before.
problems with this whatsoever,
Perfect.
except all of them.
And finally, when will the Cilia organelle be added? I think we can talk about that already. But in short, when we get enough programmers. So those are all the questions of the thread. So what now?
We answered chat questions.
Of course.
We still have 49 people watching, at least, which is, I think viewer retention is a bit better than last time, so
Hmm. That's
Well,
nice.
excluding perhaps the technical difficulties, I think we haven't really tracked that.
Well, it helped build suspense, didn't it?
Okay. Well, so if any of you have questions, which I'm sure you have, then post them in the chat. And
I've
we'll answer them.
already harvested like 4 from the
Oh,
chat, and I've just picked up a 5th one as well. So,
okay. Then
alright, so first off, planet at 8:14, which was like about an hour ago, Planet Jupiter asked, "Hey, will the creatures in the game be inspired by Terran species, or will they be totally independent of our ecosystem?"
they will be obviously they're based on an alien ecosystem. They won't have anything to do with Earth.
Yeah, like the creatures definitely won't be pre-generated.
So it'll basically be up to the evolution algorithm as to what happens.
Yep, as it is now with cells. Well, cells are kind of based on real life ones with organelles and all that, but I think that's where the similarities will end.
All
We
right.
have a plan for sculpting organisms with metaballs. So that would give a lot of freedom to the player for making their own creatures. Okay.
All right.
Can you read the next one?
So 8:39. Mine Snewelp, sorry if I screwed up with your username there. Asked, I honestly don't know what he means by this, but can you send yourself compiled music files based upon the main theme to Revolutionary Games?
I think there is a music submission thread on the community forum, so if you make some music you can post there and maybe Oliver will critique it a bit.
Yeah, there's a thread where I give feedback to people about random music they've made. If you actually want to join the team, then you can send us an email with stuff you have made. Yeah. If you just want to post your music, then yeah, please do so on the community forums. I do it all the time, perhaps to the annoyance of some people there. So join me, and then we will annoy them together, and it will be fine.
God damn it.
I just...
On that note, can I take the opportunity to... No, I won't do that. Let's not do that.
I just saw a technical question. So in the latest versions of Drive, all the textures are png.asset files, and basically that means that they are files compatible with the graphics engine. They are basically PNG files that are put through the converter, and there's no way to reverse them. So there is actually, the raw files are on GitHub in a different repository, and if you have Git LFS, you can download them. But
Alright.
if we change graphics engines again, we'll change the format probably again.
Alright, so next question. So question is it? Well, 843 William Hush said, will you be able to have heterogeneous cell colonies, cells that aren't necessarily the same species, but are nonetheless gathered together for some reason?
I don't see why not that couldn't be a feature. But probably at first, like, it would be limited to your species only, just to make it simple, but I don't see any reason why we should block some new programmers from programming that feature for us.
Yeah, that's basically some symbiosis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
Does anyone else want to chime in?
I think it's answered.
Alright, so next question. Question posted at 9:16 p.m. by Don Quixote. For the civilization stage, will there be a tech/idea tree? And will it have Marxism on it?
We'll probably have some kind of like technology web where technologies have some dependencies and optional dependencies, and you can go pretty freely through it, and we'll probably have at least like ideological elements, so while we might not like use the actual labels in the game, you could pick and choose from the ideological features to make any real life ideology you want.
Yeah, I won't have Marxism because Marx was a human person, so in game your communism will be procedurally generated.
Procedurally generated communism.
Wow.
Oh god!
All right.
So the game will just make communism all by itself. The game will basically invent communism.
It will gain
God damn
sentience
it.
and take over the world.
All right. Next question.
9:23 p.m. by Jonathan Bedard, is it? I don't know. The accent makes it kind of weird. Makes it kind of hard to pronounce it. How will the evolution process work for multicellular stage?
Sorry.
Did someone just...
We have a lot of conversation on this topic. Threads and wiki posts and stuff about it, and the whole thing is very complicated. So I don't think we can really explain it in a podcast setting without an entire podcast dedicated to it.
Yeah, like I don't think we've really nailed down how I want like the actual structure of organisms to work in multicellular in the first place. Like obviously metaball based, but other than that,
But the basic idea
too
should
much thought.
still pretty much apply, that the AI will make random changes and we will simulate how well they do and choose the best one, just like in the cell states, but the actual details will be much more difficult.
I have one unfinished concept art for the tissue editor. It's very, very rough, but I'm posting it.
Oh, I didn't see that.
That's cool.
It's a texture editor.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, like more cosmetic, I guess.
That's nice. Yeah, texture is something we will have problems with too if we want to make them all procedurally generated. Can we generate programmers procedurally?
Procedurally generate everything.
Yeah,
Yes.
why not? Is there any more questions you've started, Zuris?
Yeah, I've just been grabbing a whole lot more of a time. 9:23 by Jonathan Bid. Oh wait, I think I've just and have we just answered Jonathan Bidard's one?
Which one is it?
Because the one about the we've just answered that one. Okay, so 9:25 p.m. William Kirsch. Will tectonics be outside of the scale of the game during the stages they will be relevant for, or will tectonic motion be simulated during the single-celled and multicellular stages?
I think they'll probably be simulated in the background because in the cell states you won't see it, and once you can see it, well, I guess like a few 100 million years there are still going to be changes. So I think at some point we could have like tectonic simulation going on while you're in the aware stage. And
Tectonics will
later
certainly
multicell.
affect the patch map. Especially will make patches to rise or go lower on the sea level.
Alright. Anything anyone else would like to say? Alright, next question. 9:28 p.m. by 6 o'clock. How will republics work? I read somewhere in the forums that republics will be added, but I don't know how you will control a nation controlled by various people.
Yeah, I had these doubts about the civilization stage, or a society stage actually. Yeah, what are you controlling exactly? A government, a culture, a group of people? Yeah, it's something I have doubts about.
We'll need design work done on that, but we could like follow something like Stellaris, where you have like the different populations want different things, and if you don't keep them happy, they rebel.
So the faction system.
Yeah, but the thing is that civilizations eventually get conquered by others or just collapse. So, I mean, would it be feasible that you build your own civilization and it lasts during the whole history, or can it be like conquered and changed by other cultures? You know?
Yeah, that's something to consider. Of course, if we make it like show you the game over screen when you get conquered, then all the players will manage to have their civilization last the entire game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe the game over is if you reach a nuclear war, and yeah, you brought that upon yourself.
Happens
Well,
when you're inked. Like you could like bomb yourself into the Stone Age, but like the game would still continue. You'd just be set back. And if you get conquered, maybe you just like control what's left of what's conquered as I don't know.
Yeah.
Or you have to submit to, like, you have to be sort of a vassal, maybe? I don't know. Maybe because I've been playing too much Crusader Kings.
Emmanuel just said civilizations also integrate with each other, by the way.
Yeah, that's true. Which something that we have to look in the future, in the far future, I'm afraid.
Someone asked it. Someone asked the question.
If If you're talking about the underwater water one by Jonathan Bedard, I'm about to answer that one in chat. But okay,
Can
so
someone post a video about underwater shifts?
All right, and let's bring it out for the every time. Every time.
In the meantime, I would like to say that answer Dark Edge TV's question that if whether you could beam down a planet in the space stage. So
yeah,
basically in the space stage we already have all the features to like render the planet and control individuals, but they might not fully be like usable. But like it isn't a huge priority, but I don't see why not it couldn't be added pretty easily, but wouldn't be the main focus. And yeah, let's play that video.
Will you be quiet?
oh god.
But wait! What if they could use the hydrothermal vents to smeltle the meltle?
Oh god.
Not this time of night.
Okay, that was the video.
Narotiza, how much do you regret saying that?
Oh, very much.
I just have to ask.
That's the greatest Thrive meme ever.
Yeah, that surely is.
I'm
Okay, that was hilarious.
Noises. It is law that we have it in every live stream now.
I'm gonna play the whole playlist we have of the whole soundtrack basically. So we don't have to be,
Cement line.
Narotiza, can you type the resume command, please?
Oh, sure.
If Thrive was a rhythm game, it would be done.
Sorry?
If Thrive was a rhythm game, it would be done with it. It will be finished. The song. Haha. All the songs are finished.
Yeah.
Except the Ascension stage. The Ascension song.
You can just close your eyes and listen to the music and pretend that the game is done and you're playing it.
Oh god. Oh dear lord.
Thrive Imagination Edition.
Speaking
And
of...
then if the game isn't very good, then it's your own fault too.
Yeah.
Shit. While we're on the topic of the soundtrack, I am going to do some promotion here. I put a load of it on Spotify now. So if you don't want to listen to it on YouTube or get it on my Bandcamp, there's a load of Thrive soundtrack on Spotify. So I will link to the playlist now in various places. And it is going in the chat there. So yeah, just it's on Spotify. Woo! You can listen to it in more places, and it means nothing, but it's kind of cool.
Right.
Yeah, just close your eyes, listen to that, and pretend the game's already done, and stop complaining.
Are we ready for the next one now?
It's
Dark
your fault that the game is not finished. It's only your fault.
You're ruining their experience.
You know, I'm gonna dump the rest of the list in chat. There we go.
Oh, okay, that's easier. Do you plan on making bigger, smaller, or similar planet sizes Spore? We don't know about planet generation yet.
I hope they won't be the size of Spores. Spore ones are tiny.
If they are that tiny, you wouldn't have flat earthers on your
Oh god!
They will see the curvature of the Earth. There's no discussion there.
Do we really have to get into that?
we are a science communication game.
I think, yeah, we do have a responsibility to tell people that the Earth is not flat and that climate change is real and all of those other things.
Though, like, if you were a creature on a planet, would the terrain be generated flat to save all the memory?
You kept cutting out there. What did you say?
I said, but if you're a creature on a planet, wouldn't it be generated as flat terrain for memory saving sake?
Possibly.
I'm not assuming anything. But Earth could be flat just because it runs so quickly.
Maybe that,
Oh god.
yeah, maybe we could create that illusion during the first stages where you don't see the whole planet and you have only you have a flat map. But once you get more advanced and you start controlling a group of individuals, then
Starts letting in
the
more
the
and
game
more as
the
well.
yeah, the planet gets a bit smaller and it's rounder. But it makes sense that it's rounder because you are seeing it from far above.
I think most of the planet generators I've seen, like they have like a smooth detail level, so you can go from orbit to standing on the lake shore. So I think those keep the terrain round even when like on the ground. But of course, visually, if it is like Earth sized, then it will look pretty flat.
Honestly, I recommend looking into how No Man's Sky does planets because I think it keeps the whole planet in memory, but only actually bothers building and rendering the terrain for what you can actually see. With the rest being extremely low level, just a flat plane, just a flat no bump sphere. So yeah, I recommend looking into how No Man's Sky and games like it do planets.
Yeah. We saw a planet generator a long time ago. Don't know if it was open source or not. But it had a lot of features. It simulated the plate tectonics, the temperature of the planet, the air and water currents. It was very, very interesting. And it divided the planet in these tiles, like a mosaic.
Yeah, let's steal it.
So far, all the planet generators that people have pinged me, I think they have been closed source, or even like you have to pay a ton of money to have it. So, like we cannot actually even look at their code how they do it. So, well, if anyone knows like an open source planet generator, like I would like to have a look.
Yep, please link us to projects that you think would help out with the game.
And link programmers to the game so they can help us.
Yeah, that too. We need more programmers.
Yes, I think it's more useful in the reverse, where you link people to us rather than link us to them.
Yeah, it's true. Well, next question then. You don't mind me reading it. Will we see expansive compounds in cell stage for use of expanding to avoid getting eaten?
Missed the one posted at 9:30.
Oh.
Sorry, I'm removing questions as we answer them, so we don't accidentally answer a question twice.
Yeah. For use of expanding to avoid getting eaten or making a cellular cannon. Basically, they're asking about agents. Yeah, we want to, at least me, I want to add more agents to the game.
And we answered the theocracy question. Like, I think you'll be able to like choose different features to build your own political system. So
Alright, so let's just get rid of that.
Maybe use the same system for building your own religion, for having your own alien Jesus and whatnot.
Oh man, that would be so cool.
Procedural Jesus.
Ay, that sounds so course, but yeah,
Mm.
it could be like that.
Yeah, it will be a coded event.
All right. Once in space stage, are the exact evolved details of the ecosystem even relevant? Well, if we do this like in Spore, where as you advance, the time goes lower, then I guess, yeah, in that stage, ecosystems wouldn't evolve as fast, or maybe not at all.
I don't think they would evolve, but I'd imagine they still exist. I mean, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, sure. No, yeah, for working ecosystems, yeah, that's a great, that would be great.
people often
no, yeah, continue.
People often forget the time scale, so they like say, what if I can like stay in the cell stage while I have some aware species on my planet, and they forget that like the aware stage is a few million years, and one microbe's cell editor cycle is 100 million years, so it would be one cycle and bam, the other species have left to space and blown up your planet.
That would be so fun.
Yeah, just finding out you've stayed in the cell site too long and the waters have become irradiated.
Yeah, exactly.
You have an irradiated sea. We had this discussion about radiation, radiotrophy. You know, like photosynthesis, but with radiation, basically.
I think some people made some concepts for that.
Yeah, included. I'm gonna show it, in fact. Contents.
That looks quite good.
Thanks. Is there any hostile virus entity that you need to avoid within single cell stage? Right now, no. But I think, didn't Nine make a mod with viruses?
There was a
9
virus mod. I think, yeah.
Hmm.
There were some compound, like a new compound cloud that spawned in the environment, and you absorbed it. And if you had too much virus in your cell, it took damage, and it slowly like dumped it away. So, like you had to avoid the virus clouds. But that mod was for 0.3.4, I think. No one has done any mods for 0.4 or newer.
Right.
Will there be a limit on the size of the creature?
Oh yeah.
Wouldn't that depend on gravity, basically?
Yeah, I think that's the best way of limiting it.
Yeah, basically limit it based on gravity. Gravity then.
Yeah, there shouldn't be any limits, just that it can die if it's badly done.
Yeah.
That's the only limit.
Right. Dark Edge asks, to satisfy those good old underwater requests, theoretically, could advanced civilizations later decide to populate the oceans as opposed to evolve? Yeah, sure. We also had this idea of making amphibian civilizations. If you have an amphibian species, then it can first evolve metallurgy, not evolve, develop metallurgy on land, and then with that technology make their own houses in the water.
There's nothing stopping a civilization that's developed technology that can smelt metal underwater going into the water from then on in. It's just there's no way of doing it being exclusively aquatic the whole way through. Don't test us. We've gone through this many times.
Imagine that they finally get to Europa and they get through that ice and discover a whole civilization there with metallurgy.
Surely we'll be just coming up to start work on the society stage at that point, right? So we can add that in at that point.
Yeah, Europa update. All right. So, will there be a possibility?
Sorry, go on.
No. What did you
Tiny patch thrive 0.7.2.1 on fix the major screw up we made earlier on. Finally added underwater metallurgy to the game.
You guys were right all along.
It's not a case of life imitates art, it's a case of life spit in the face of art.
Will there be a possibility for your size to be limited based on a certain gas percentage in the atmosphere among other factors like arthropods and oxygen? Oh yeah, sure, that's another factor that should influence.
Yeah, like it will always happen in the game. Like you won't be able to always be very big. You'll have to take into account the resources you have.
Yeah, in fact it happens right now with this version.
Yeah.
If your cell is not viable, then you go extinct. So yeah, we kind of have that more or less implemented. Okay. Well, I'm gonna keep an eye on the chat.
I guess I should bring up this said by William Kush. I don't remember what it's in response to, but he said, "You've also gone through all the reasons not to involve money many times before."
Yep. I think that must have been in response to me saying that we've been through the underwater civ stuff very many times. And money is the other thing that we keep discussing.
Let's see.
So it turns out that the "you have thrived" win message for the new version still says 0.4.2 in it.
Oh god.
Breaking, unplayable.
We're taking it back.
Yeah, Untrusted Life added that message, and it has always had hard-coded the current game version, so you always need to edit it.
Yeah,
That.
I think we should have it read from the actual version or something.
Just remove a reference to the version entirely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think the win message should be reworded entirely and don't reference the current version.
Yeah.
You have one insert version number here. Congratulations. You have thrived.
But we need a programmer for that.
Congratulations. Not congratulations, just congratulation.
Congratulations.
Actually, I think that text is just in the HTML file, so if someone knows how to edit a website, you can add that. As long as you know how to make a GitHub pull request then afterwards.
It's true. Should we mention all of the programming languages that these supposed programmers would actually need to know? Or any of them that may be useful? Because so far I've been saying, come on programmers, join us, and then we get someone who joins only knowing Haskell. That would be a bit terrible.
Well,
oh god.
Well, yeah. Well, the languages used in the game are C++, then Angel script, or most of, quite a bit of the gameplay, but it is very similar to C++. So I've been just saying that learn C++. Or better yet, you should learn some like easy language first, like start with Python. And once you know how to program, it's pretty easy to learn C++. And then of course we still use the Chromium web browser as our GUI, so there's the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. But
Uniow.
Thank you, Uniow.
yeah, that
Right.
should be the new. You won the game.
Just say you thrived.
Or maybe it should just be the banana biome popping back up whenever you win.
That's your reward. Now you
Banana
can
biome
live.
is-
They're like, when
Yes,
you win, there's a 1 in 1,000 chance of it just popping, of the whole game just turning banana biome.
Because only people who win the game deserve to see the majesty of the banana biome.
Yeah. I've
Good
just posted
times.
I just posted 2 more questions that I saw in the chat, by the way.
Yeah, I'm gonna read them. Thank you, Zuris. Okay, so will this version be playable on computers with an Intel card? Unfortunately, no.
Or, well, the answer is if you have very new Intel, then it can be playable, but your frame rate will be very terrible. But if you also have NVIDIA graphics, I've added a bit of magic in the game, so it automatically uses the NVIDIA graphics unless you have forced Intel graphics. So, for example, on my laptop, the new version goes from 20 FPS to over 60 FPS. So if you didn't know how to change that before, it should work a bit better. But if you only have Intel graphics, it's still pretty terrible. And if they are more than like 2 or 3 years old, it doesn't work.
So it works on some Intel graphics then.
Yeah, including on my laptop.
I see.
And then some people who have like some crappy laptop from 2011, they have like no chance.
Yeah, it's a bit random, that issue.
Mm.
Okay, is there any chance that life could develop in such a way as to avert the great oxygenation? Could you influence the atmospheric content that significantly? I suppose that if your species is so successful that it can contrast that effect, then sure. But we also have ideas for neutralizing agents, as we said before. So oxygen is no longer toxic for you. But I think that in order to move forward, you need to become aerobic because it's the most efficient process for making energy. You know what else everyone thinks?
I mean, the great oxygenation was itself a product of life. So, I mean, depending on how you evolve, if you're successful enough, you could change the atmospheric content just as much as whatever.
Yeah.
I
You could
don't know.
always hunt the species that are photosynthetic as well. Hunt them to extinction. That would be a very interesting way of changing your planet and seeing how you can influence it actively. Okay, so next one. Are you able to make events part of a religion? Example, a spaceship crashes into the planet and your Christ sees it as a vessel of a fallen god, making it a religious artifact? That would be pretty cool. Yeah. We have the patch report now, and it shows different. Well, it's supposed to show different events that would happen in your patch, like I don't know, a meteor crashes or there's a glaciation. It doesn't do now, but maybe using that kind of system of a patch report, maybe using that you could make those kind of events for your religion. But yeah, it's a long way. Okay, is there a possibility of being able to also pick our starting planet, so to speak, in Earth, as well? Yeah, when TJ has been working on a planet generator we saw before, and yeah, it's supposed to let you customize your planet and your star. We need someone else to work on it, aka we need programmers.
I think that by bringing up Earth, I think it's also asking the second question: would we be able to have? Yeah, I'm just pulling this one off of it, but now here's a question of my own: would we be able? Will the modders be able to add predefined planets with scripted geographical stages and geological histories and stuff that it will go through as you?
Um,
That sounds
I
pretty
guess
cool.
we could have that. I haven't been thinking about modability at all lately, but in the just released version, all the organelles are now in a JSON file, so maybe the modders could do something with that. But as I haven't seen like any new mods other than the one translation in the past year, I think we might not actually get a pretty good modding scene because we are open source, so people who want to make mods could, in theory, work on the game itself. But I suppose we could add like a feature where you can have predefined planet systems in a JSON file as a mod. But like, I don't want to like spend my development time on that, so I'd hope that the community would make pull requests for adding features to the game that allow better modding support.
If the game has, like, if the base game has presets, it probably wouldn't be too hard to mod more in. Also, that'd be pretty cool.
Sorry to interrupt, but I think I might head off now. I've got some other things to do tonight.
I'm tired as
Bye,
well.
Oliver. Bye,
So-
Oliver.
I will see you later.
Yeah, see you.
Au revoir. Enjoy the rest of the podcast.
Bye.
See ya.
We could actually think about ending this, because while we haven't streamed like 2 hours yet, but we started late, so we could actually think about
It's
stopping
literally
here.
only 8 minutes left until it's 2 hours long, so
Yeah, we could make this like the shortest podcast ever if we stop.
How long have we been here? 2 hours.
113 minutes, so 1 hour and 53 minutes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that does
Oh.
look like it'd be the shortest one.
It's the shortest one. Really?
Actually, no, the shortest one is 21 minutes and 48 seconds, the first one.
That doesn't count.
What about the second one? 22 minutes and 33 seconds.
Only the podcasts I've been in count. I think I was in like
God
number
damn
8.
it.
Of course.
Oh god, and then we've got number 5, which is the longest one. Hamsters on Wheels. 2 hours, 43 minutes, 21 seconds.
Gosh. Also, I guess I'm a bit late, but regarding geological features, it'd be pretty cool if those were scripted as part of the presets, but like things like the great oxygenation wouldn't be part of that because that's an emergent effect of life itself. But I think it'd be cool if, like, if you're playing on an Earth preset, then you'd have to like prepare for the meteor, which is gonna come no matter what.
Yeah, and the
killed the
eruptions of
dinosaurs.
Yellowstone and the other super volcanoes and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Like stuff like that, which is definitely geological, or not at all.
Basically, not influenced by life.
Yeah, basically.
Those sound like scenarios in many games, so
Yeah.
we could have those.
Be interesting.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to put in.
Yeah. Maybe a game mode where your star is gonna explode in a set amount of time, and you have to run against the clock.
Yeah, that would be amazing. that would be amazing. Get off, get to the space stage, get off the planet before the sun explodes.
Yeah. Try to speed run. Speed run mode, actually.
It will be applied depending on what kind of star you'll select. So if you want to have a speedrun type of game, you would pick a red giant that is very old.
Probably would need some warnings for that, because like you could have a player just picking a red star because they think it looks cool.
And then suddenly, halfway through the save stage.
We could end the stream before answering that question. We have almost 2 hours gone, so I think we answered enough questions. So
yeah.
Let's end the stream. Everyone say bye.
See ya.
Bye.
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 Bye.